New Balance Balos, a brand new maximized running shoes from New Balance using fresh form X as the missile. Let's find out. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Kevin, one of the Malaysia running YouTuber. Today I'm going to have a review on these shoes. New Balance Balos is a brand new shoes, brand new lineup by New Balance. We have a lot of fresh foam X underneath, consider a max cushion shoes, and it's really comfortable. And this pair of shoes already went through 100 kilometers with me. So let's have a look on this pair of shoes. Before I proceed further, full disclosure, this pair of shoes is sent by New Balance Malaysia for the purpose of review. I didn't receive any money or any things, or anyone can have any opinion on this video. All the opinion in this video is my own opinion, and you're the first person who is able to watch this opinion on YouTube. Let's start with some numbers of the shoes. For my size, I'm using size US11. The shoes weigh at 267 grams. Consider a light shoes with huge amount of fresh foam underneath, and the stack height on the back here is 38.5 mm, and the toe here is 32.5 mm. Make the shoes 6 mm drop. There's no carbon fiber plate in these shoes. This is a neutral maximized cushion daily trainer, and it costs us 899 ringgit. You can get it online from their New Balance website Malaysia, or you can visit to their store and try it out and check it out by yourself. For the foam, is a fresh foam X. It's a PIBA blend type of material at the foam. PIBA material is widely used in most of the running shoes nowadays because of the response and the lightness. Each of the other brands, they have their own name, has their own formula of the foam itself. For the fresh foam, for the New Balance line, they have two different lines. One is the fresh foam X, the other one is the fuel cell foam that used on those top end races, more on the faster pace. For the fresh foam, it's more to the comfortable and the plushy pace. Upper, using a lightweight creep mesh upper from front all the way back to the toe. And the upper for me a bit run hot in Malaysia weather. The shoes, I feel a bit running hot on this upper material. If you put your finger in to touch the shoes, you can feel some of the texture of the upper. And the front over here, there has some heel collar structure support on the front over here. And the toe box on these shoes considered wide enough, even though this is not a wide version, is wide enough for my feet, and there's some room to wiggle around. When I put in the shoes, I have to pull the lace a bit tight so that if my feet will wiggle around the toe box. And moving backwards, the tongue actually there's another structure support on the tongue, another piece of cloth. I think this is fly knit upper from side all the way to the back, so we have like two different upper over here, and the lace actually is very soft and very nice to touch. It's not that super long, it's just nice to do all the lacing loop that needed. And the secure of the shoes and the lacing is pretty nice. The lockdown and the lacing is pretty good. And moving backwards, there's a lot of padding, and at the back over here, if you see here, there's one huge chunk of the cushion on the back. The padding, the lockdown on the back over here is really good, and there's one very solid heel collar on the back. It's giving more on the comfort side on the back over here, and there's a lot of room for my foot to wiggle around. So consider it's a very comfort upper, but it's giving me some hotspot that I'm going to talk about it later when we go in detail about the shoes. For the foam, you're using the fresh foam X. What's the difference between fresh foam X and the fuel cell line? The fuel cell line is on all the Rebel, Pacer, SC Elite. What's the difference between these two foam in the same company? What I feel about the Fresh Form X is more to the cushion and pillow. It's not the form fully compressed before let go. It's more like compressed until halfway, then the shoes will be respond and bounce back to the next step. Because for me, the fuel cell is more like once we compress down, before the form fully compressed, the form already starting to push you to the next step. It's just like snap go, snap go. For the fresh form, it seems like balance between the compress and the snap go. It's like just compress a bit, like around 50%, then the form will starting to push. And the other one more is more to plushy. When we step on it, the form will be compressed all the way. There's a time delay all the way until the form fully expand. Then you need starting to push back. For the fresh form, it's like balance between fast and compress to the plush. So once you push down until most like 50%, then it will go to the next step. For the fuel cell, it's like when you press, it must go. The form may be compressed around 60-70%, but the reaction of the form is much more faster compared to the Fresh Form X. For these shoes, it has a huge stack of Fresh Form X from back to the front. If you see at the back here, you can see the huge chunk of the Fresh Form. For me, if landing on the heel, the shoes is pretty comfortable because of the rocker geometry of the shoes. Moving to the outsole of the shoes, you can see there's a really wide shoes toe box and all the way to the back. Even here, the arch is just taper a bit. If you are flat footer, maybe you can try on these shoes. For me, it's a medium arch and I feel really nice. If you are flat footer, maybe you can give a try on these shoes because the arch is not really that high, just light amount of arch in these shoes. And the insole, I try to remove it and it's really wide. You can see the insole, the arch over here is really wide. If you're flat footer, maybe you can try on these shoes. Go to the shop and try on it. So for me, this seems like PIBA blend with EVA, and this seems like the black color is more like straight EVA, the hard rubber on the outsole. And this one is more to soft one, and this is the softest. So you have three different, same as the upper 1, 2, and 3. So on the bottom also we have three different kind of rubber. The shoes has a very nice rocker geometry. The shoes, if you run landing on the heel, then it's really nice rock for the next motion because of the huge form on the back. It's really protective. And if you look at here, this side, you can see some of the fresh form has been worn out because of the huge forefoot over here. Is because of running, because I shuffling between both sides. Same as this side, also same because this is my running pattern. Some of the form are starting to chip off because of my running very close to each other, both feet. So that's why the worn off is pretty fast. So the shoes is very stable and have a very extreme rocker geometry. I tried when I land most of my run over here, the rocker geometry is not really able to feel that much because if you want to feel the full rocker geometry is when you land on the heel and it will roll forwards. For me, I land most of my run is on the midfoot, so you can see all the worn off area is at this area. I did try land on here and I can feel the rocker geometry is pretty nice. It just have a very nice motion flow from back all the way to the forefoot. Let's talk about the journey of New Balance Balos until 100 kilometers. How I use the shoes. I use the shoes on easy run, base run, fast workout, marathon pace, and long run. I get the shoes on Friday or Thursday. I can't remember the date. And Monday, I fly to Singapore and bring this pair together with me. After I just go for a 9 km test run on Sunday, and I bring the shoes out. During my first test run, I found something that it is not the noticeable cushion, is this one. The middle part of here, same as both shoes, same. These two things, when I land on it, I can feel the circle on my feet. On my bottom of feet, I can feel the circle because this rubber feel a bit hard than this one. Once I land and I press it and I compress the fresh foam, I can feel this circle directly below my feet. And I feel very weird because this is my first time using the fresh foam. So I feel very weird on this one, and I encounter some hotspot, especially this area on my first 2 and 3 run, and it gone off. After that, there's no more hotspot on here. For the fresh foam, it's pretty comfortable, and the response and need for me is able to provide for me during all this run, especially on my faster run, the marathon pace and tempo workout. And my tempo workout reached around 420 pace. The fresh foam able to provide the pace for me when I want to go slow and go for my 25 km long run. The comfortable of the shoes, the comfortable of the fresh foam is really rewarding. It's very soft. It's like running on 2 pillows with some response on it. But one thing about the upper that I'm not really liking is more like mixed reaction on the upper, because the fresh foam is pretty comfortable, and I seems like fighting with the upper, especially on my left leg. For me, I have some hotspot on this area. I'm not sure why. There's nothing on this part. When I see inside, there's nothing on this part. And I'm having some hotspot until now, 100 km. I still have a hotspot over here. It's bearable. It's not really that painful. It's just a bit of more like force over here on my left foot. Normally, upper hotspot is rarely happen on my left foot. Most probably happen on my right foot because my right foot is wider than my left foot. But I'm having some hotspot at this area. When I starting, I have 2 left and right. But after like 20 km, this side already gone. On the left side, this side, until now, I still encounter some hotspot. It's bearable. It's not that pain. It's just feeling hot, like rubbing on this area, the hotspot at this area. Yeah, the remaining is totally fine. And for the tongue is not really suitable if you're running sockless or low ankle socks, because the tongue on the top here actually is biting on my feet. On my first run, I wear a very low socks, ankle socks, maybe directly unable to see when I run on it. This side, this tongue actually is biting on my feet. Luckily, I have extra socks, so I change it, swap it, then it's gone. There's this part, I think it's a bit rough over here. The fine upper actually is biting on my feet, same as the other pair. So luckily I got extra pair of socks, able to change it on my Sunday run. And after that, the issue is gone. On the grip, the shoes perform perfectly. When I go fast or slow, the shoes able to give me the grip that I need to go for my next stride. And during the wet time, now starting to having a rainy season in Malaysia and Singapore, the shoes able to perform. But when I try the shoes on the wet concrete, the shoes feel a bit slippery. But this is a common issue across most of the running shoes, because concrete and wet surface is not a good mixture. I think 95% of the shoes or 90% shoes, running shoes, will fail on this area because of wet concrete. The shoes will be like ski or slippery. For this shoes is a bit of slippery when I'm running on the wet concrete. But on dry or wet street with tarmacs, everything, there's no issue on the grip. Let's go with the buyer guide and which shoes have a similar characteristic with this New Balance Balos 3. If you're looking for a very nice cushion, pamper, formed, very nice rocker geometry, lightweight, maybe you can consider about these shoes. and if you want some rocker geometry, maybe you can consider the New Balance Balos. To compare with the current shoes in the market, there's few shoes in my mind. The first one definitely is the Nike Invisible 3, that using the Nike Sumax form, the super form, that changed the whole running shoe since. But the shoes is a bit heavier, but the price is cheaper compared to the New Balance Balos. I think the shoes right now is around 700 something ringgit. Right now they even have some discount, it's around 500 plus ringgit, but the shoes weight at 300 plus gram for my size US 11. That shoes is almost similar that you can compare with New Balance Balos with the response of the shoes. If you want something responsive, maybe you can try on the Invisible 3. The other one that I'm thinking to compare with is the asics Super Blast. asics Super Blast 1 or 2 of it. Super Blast 2, I not really try it, but I just try it on the shop and try run on the treadmill. Almost similar with the Super Form, by them the FF Turbo Blast Plus with 2 different form on the bottom, same heel stack height on the back, and giving a lot of cushion, the plush and the response. But one thing is, asics is slightly cheaper compared to Balos. The shoes is around 849 if I'm not wrong, and the shoes are slightly lighter than Balos. So what's my verdict on New Balance Balos? For me, the shoes is considered a very fun shoes. It's my first time running on Fresh Form X also, and the shoes is very fun to run on it and really comfortable. Definitely with the shoes, I will keep inside my rotation for my long run, especially long run. The shoes really shine during long run. The comfortable, the pace that I can get from the shoes is really nice. There's only some hotspot on my left foot. Hopefully the hotspot can gone as soon as possible. Otherwise, it's not really that irritating, but it's just something that holding me back on here. So that's all for my full review on this New Balance Balos. See you guys on the next review video. Bye.